Hey everyone. Hey Cancer. Welcome to this space. Welcome to January 2026. Welcome to a new year for those of you who might be looking into or celebrating or are connected to the energies of the Lunar New Year or the Year of the Horse. We are still in the Year of the Snake. We are currently in the energies of still saying our goodbyes to 2025 in January. Which is the end of Capricorn season and the beginning of Aquarius season. So those of us, I've been kind of like liking it too. If we had a really rough year last year, I know I kind of did energetically. We may still be feeling like we're coming out of a coma or we're coming out of like anesthesia, like we're waking up from, it's almost like getting into an accident or something. And you have to be put under and you're finally coming to, and we're energetically needing that, therapy or needing that support, needing that extra hand holding for us to get back on our feet, moving forward energetically. But on an earthly, to me, earthly note, when it comes to the earth and, and its new chapter of waking up and coming back alive here in the Northern Hemisphere, that's going to be Aries season. So, but Happy New Year nonetheless. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Let's go ahead and see. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, I have added Venus to the picture. I normally just read for your Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, but we're going to add Venus to the mix because Venus represents your desires. It represents how you express your emotions. Or no, that's your moon sign. How you express yourself in relationships, should I say. How you show up in your relationships, right? As well as your heart's desire. So if you are looking for messages regarding certain relationships, romantically, platonically, with your family or business partnerships and at work, check for your Venus sign, and if you're trying to understand how to, understand your inner compass when it comes to your relationships, that's your Venus sign. If you want to understand your compass, your inner compass when it comes to your heart space and how you express your emotions and how you feel during January, check your moon sign. How you identify yourself and how other people perceive you and your drive forward towards the things that you want. That's going to be your Sun and your Rising sign. Okay, so please check all 4 of those placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, for any of those messages that you may be looking for. Okay, I'm not here to force any messages or to dictate, how you receive these messages. It's completely up to you. Okay, so Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's go ahead and jump in for your January 2026 messages. Ancestors of light, messengers of light, we thank you. What messages do we have for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for January 2026? Also, I'm reading for sidereal and Western astrological placements and charts, so please bear that in mind. Let's see what January holds for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. You have the conch shell. That's beautiful. I feel like that is so, I don't know why, but energetically looking at this card and me talking to you, Cancer, this feels so like, this seems so proper and appropriate for you guys. Like this, I don't know if those are the words that I'm looking for, but this does fit your energy, I feel, moving forward. The conch shell is such an ancient creature, and its shell has been, like your Cancer energy, right? So that represents the home, family, togetherness, and safety and security in the home. Safety emotionally, okay? Children. The conch shell, at one point, before it was utilized as an instrument of breath to alert tribal members or to actually make a call to an individual's community, it could also be used as a warning. Before it became an instrument of those things, It was actually a home, right? It was a home to a sea creature, right? Hmm. So there could be something that, is calling to you, Cancer, when it comes to your home. It could be that maybe you're a little bit too comfortable, right? It could be maybe your past, your family could be calling to you for some reason. That could be good or bad. It depends on your interpretation of that, okay? It just depends. So there is something that is speaking to you from afar. Now, whether you answer the call or not, that's up to you. You have your reasons as to why you don't want to answer the call, but I feel like for those of you who really want to, maybe you just don't know how. January is, the energy that is actually going to support you in answering this call here. And I think that this is kind of like a call to act on something. That I don't want to say that it's obvious, but because maybe it may not be obvious, but there's something here, Cancer, that you need to answer to, you need to make a decision to act. You need to make the decision to act in January. Or at least January is a good time to do so. Now, you also have at the bottom of the deck plant medicine, and it says truth. So once again, there is the calling of truth. In indigenous culture, it is believed that we all as human beings have our own medicine, and it is not the same. It is not equal to another person's medicine, right? Medicine is not just something that you gather from plants, and it's just external to us because we are of the earth and the plants are of the earth. We are all one, therefore we all are medicine. So this is an energy of understanding your medicine, Cancer, in the month of January, understanding your magic, as they say today, understanding your precious energy, and whether you are actually utilizing it to heal others and yourself. But in order to heal others, you first have to also heal yourself. So again, I'm getting that there are those of you have been kind of submerged, or you're in a place of comfort right now. Or you have been for a very long time, and January is actually calling for you to kind of step out of your comfort zone. For others of you, this may also be your guides or your ancestors, your deity, kind of pulling you out of a situation that you may see as comfortable, and it's kind of forcing you to feel uncomfortable so that you can understand how big of a world is out there and what you may be kind of missing out on, or what you are not accepting about yourself, for what you're not facing. There's a big world out there, you guys. Excuse me. Yes, we have technology. We have TV, we have social media, we have, all of these beautiful instruments of communication that makes the world seem very small. But to be honest, for those of you, if social media is, like, I'm using it as an example, if you're using social media to connect with the world around you, you have not even scraped the surface of what the world is like until you have stepped out of your comfort zone. If this is an emotional issue, if you're dealing with like really deep emotions, or big emotions, or emotions that you are kind of drowning in, again, you need to kind of rise to the surface, get some fresh air. You need a change of scenery. That's what I'm getting. Okay, in general, so far in your reading. Okay. Okay, Cancer. So next, remember, this is just for January. Okay. You don't have to take this as necessarily being like you know, this is something that you have to continue to do every month. Like, you know, this is just for January. Just coming to an understanding of this in January doesn't mean that you have to necessarily do this in January and answer the call in January. Some of you may see some things happening that's going to force you to answer the call. Others of you may not. And maybe the call is happening in January, but you may not answer it until later on in the year. I don't know. It just depends, okay? We'll see what the future holds for you in February, okay? But now we're talking about January. So Cancer, let's go ahead and see about your money in January. Ancestors for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for January 2026 for their money and finances. Okay, you're on the right path. Infinite abundance. And then you have career change. So there's definitely a change in your career or with a job here. Some of you guys may get promoted and realize that you actually want to go in the direction of the position that you got promoted to. Or that promotion or that that promotion is going to open up some new doors to other potential career paths that you can take, which is very great. It's I mean, very good. It's amazing. It's great. But with you are on the right path and infinite abundance. Like I said before, and even though this is pertaining to money right now, Cancer, again, the word infinite. There's a big world out there. Social media, the news, what other people tell you about a certain field of study or a certain position or profession, that's fine. Like, knowledge is so important, whatever you read in books and things like that, but the real knowledge cannot truly be gained and applied until you actually step foot in that field or step into that environment and apply whatever you've learned within that environment. Okay? There is so much abundance out there for you financially. Do not limit yourself to wherever you are. It's okay to step out of your comfort zone and just try, just kind of experiment a little bit. You already know, with you're on the right path, there are those of you, you're doing exactly what you need to do. You're doing your inner compass is pointing you in the right direction. Some of you guys have already gone in that direction and you guys are doing great. Others of you, if you're doubting that you're doing the right thing or that you're on the right path, don't doubt it. You're doing great. There's a deeper part of you that knows the direction to take. So follow that, no matter how daunting it may seem. Others of you, even if you may not have taken action just yet, you already know what you need to do. Okay? So even if you haven't taken action yet towards your goals and aspirations, you already know exactly what you need to do. You already know exactly what you want. Okay? So if you're sitting, ruminating, troubleshooting, over analyzing, over questioning whether, should I move? Should I stay? Should I move? Should I stay? Is this actually good for me? Am I, how much of a loss is this going to be if I do lose? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you could be ruminating and contemplating and overly contemplating and analyzing. And honestly, you're just wasting more time. Yes, there comes a point in time where you need to analyze, you need to contemplate, right? You need to weigh your options. But then there comes a point where it's time to take action. You already know exactly what you need to do. I'm just going to leave that there. Okay. So yeah, that's amazing. I love seeing that for you guys. So next up, we have a couple more oracle messages to pull for you guys, Cancer. And then we're going to jump into the tarot. So we're going to pull 2 more oracle messages for you guys as advice and as just overall general knowledge or information that my ancestors have for you guys, okay? So let's see here for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for January 2026. Okay, so we have animal guardian, trust your instincts. Yeah, Cancer, there is an inner knowing you already know. This is beautiful to see. You already know exactly what you need to do. There is something inside of you that knows exactly what you need to do. Don't let anyone persuade you otherwise, okay? It can be your closest friend, your family, a family member. It can be anybody that you really, really love and trust. You know, there may be some people who, again, this is not saying that you have people surrounding you who don't like you or that this is not necessarily a situation. I mean, some of you guys could be dealing with that where, you know, you're dealing with people who are really doubting you. They're trying to tear you down. Like, but others of you, it doesn't always have to be as bad as that. It can just be you have people in your life who really love and care for you, and they feel like they have the best intentions for you, you know, and they want the best for you, but they don't know your path, right? They don't understand. So it's like if this is not, you know, me trying to instigate or, you know, if there are people in your life who truly love you, right? It's okay to listen to them and hear their point of view and get advice from them and things like that. But at some point, you do have to kind of respectfully um, either let them know or just, you know, like, hey, you know, I really love that you care about me and you have my best intentions, but, you know, I have to follow my heart or I need to follow my spirit on this. But like, thank you so much for being there for me. It's okay to decline someone's um, push. Okay, it's okay to respectfully decline someone's push in a certain direction because you know what's going on inside of you, Cancer. You know what's going on inside of you. You know what you want. You know what you need. You know where you're supposed to go. And it's quite possible that this calling is really, I mean, more than likely it's attached to your purpose here on this, in this world, in this life. So whether you have people who are actually trying to block you and push you in the wrong direction intentionally or aggressively, or not, you know, it's okay to just ignore all of that and just, you know, go at your own pace or, you know, not even go at your own pace, but, you know, just make the decision that your inner knowing is calling you. You know, make the decision that your inner knowing is calling you to make, if that makes sense. And then at the bottom of the deck, you have direction guardian, choose your path. So again, Cancer, you have choices. You do have choices. It's not like, I feel like there may be those of you who are making things a little bit more difficult than it has to be. So if you're in a relationship with someone and you feel stuck in it and you feel like, oh, I'm not allowed, I can't go see my friends, or, you know, I can't this, I can't that, you know, I can't travel, you know, I can't afford to do this because we have bills to pay, we have kids to take care of, we have this, or whatever it is, whatever's going on, if it's a relationship, you're kind of you're making the decision to allow that relationship to hold you back, and maybe you need to have a really serious conversation with your partner and helping them to understand what your goals are. And if they love you and they cherish, your wants, your needs and your purpose, then they will understand. But if they don't really care about that, and then maybe you may have to kind of distance yourself or go in a different direction away from the relationship. I feel like if you guys have children with someone, that's a little bit different. You know, it's not as easy to just leave someone when you have children involved. But for those of you who are able to leave, and you don't necessarily have children, um, I feel, if the relationship is just not growing you and you feel like you're kind of being stifled or you're being um, kind of choked of your own vitality in life. And I'm not saying go out and like, experiment with other people. Like if you're in a committed relationship and you're happy with this person, like you can still be happy doing the things that you love to do, Cancer, even if you're in a committed relationship, okay? Maybe you and your partner need to go out and travel more together, okay? Maybe there's just something more that you need to add to your relationship with your partner, okay? But if you're in a relationship and it's not making you happy and you would prefer to be with other people, you need to you need to just kind of talk to your partner, break up with them pretty much, and move on, right? You want to be honest every step of the way. But again, there's just something here where there's more that you want, and you need to be honest with yourself about it. Be honest with the people who love you and go after what you want. And if this is money and it's a career, maybe you need to quit a job. I don't know. There's some things that you may need to stop doing or completely give up in order, you know, to go after the prize. If it's as simple as just, you know, you want to just start going to the gym, losing weight, gaining muscle, whatever it is, you need to focus on that thing. You need to take care of your health. If it's, you know, it can be as simple as quitting smoking, stop drinking, whatever, you know. So choose a direction, whatever direction. It doesn't matter what part of your life it is. It could be multiple parts of your life, but there's a direction that you need to choose, and choose confidently. Choose confidently, okay? Let's go ahead and pull one more oracle message, you guys, and then we're going to jump into the tarot. To dig a little bit deeper, we're going to pull 3 tarot cards, but let's pull one more oracle message for you guys, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for January 2026. Okay, it says the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. So during your birthday season, Cancer, some of you guys may have been born under a full moon in Capricorn during your birthday. Okay, others of you, maybe you, yeah, if you were born under a full moon in Capricorn, then that means that you have a Capricorn moon. Whatever has been a burden on you, a heavy burden on you, Cancer, that cycle is done. There's no need to hold on to unnecessary emotions or resentments, anything like that. Whatever you thought was going to fall and be destroyed, whatever you thought was going to rip you apart emotionally or mentally, it's behind you now, and you need to leave it there. Okay, so if there's any resentments, if there's anything, any grudges that you're holding, or you know, there could be, like, on an emotional level, maybe there are some people that you still hold resentment for, but maybe these people don't hold any resentment towards you. Sometimes a cycle can end for you, for us as humans, but sometimes we can try to keep that cycle going because of emotions, because of fear, doubt, anger, resentment, regret, whatever it is, right? Sadness, depression. It could be a lot of reasons that, you know, we try to keep a cycle going, but it's already dead and you just need to leave it behind and move forward. Okay. So this, I feel like this cycle that has really kept you down, Cancer, or kept you in a really stagnant position in your life, it's done and you need to let it be done. Okay. Don't try to keep it alive. Don't make excuses. And then we have step outside of your comfort zone, North Node. So check your North Node if you're interested in doing that. It's time to answer the call, you guys. It's time to get up. It's time to wake up. It's time to move those muscles, move those limbs. It's time to start stretching when you wake up in the morning. Go for a jog, go for a walk, get some sun, go to the gym, you know, do some yoga, or, you know, do some Pilates, you know, do some breath work, go ride your bike, you know, go hang out with your friends, buy that plane ticket, or go visit your family, drive down to see or up to see your family, wherever. Go out into the world and experience it, and let the world experience you. That is so important. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the tarot, you guys. I'm gonna see what my ancestors have to say for your sky, for your constellation, Cancer, a little bit more in depth. So we're gonna pull some tarot, and we're gonna clarify those tarot cards moving forward. Okay, towards the end of your reading. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, ancestors, for January 2026. All right, let's see. You have the Ten of Wands. You have the Page of Swords. And you have the sun. Okay, I like seeing that. That's great. That's great. I like seeing the sun come out. So yes, very, very heavy burden, really feeling held down. But even though you've kind of been in this prison or feeling like you just have so much responsibility, or maybe there's a relationship holding you down, a job holding you down, maybe you've become a parent and you feel overwhelmed, you know, with your child, or maybe with multiple things, having children, being, you know, in a relationship, maybe it's your job as well. Whatever it is, it's like you do feel held down. You feel like you're so limited and there's only so much that you can do to get a moment's rest or get a moment's peace or to have your me time or to enjoy life. You still have that curiosity though. You know, that's a good, you know, if this is advice, continue to be curious, Cancer. Don't give up your curiosity. If this is like, for those of you who are single or you're looking for, you know, a relationship somebody that you can really love romantically, or even if it's just friends that you can love, you know, if you're looking for a better relationship with your family. If some of you guys, maybe you want to have kids, you know, but maybe you feel like your life is just not what you want it to be. Don't stay curious. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. But remember, with the Page of Swords here, it says honest. Like I've said before, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with yourself as you move forward. So whatever, the Page of Swords also talks about, you know, being all talk but no action, right? Put your money where your mouth is, okay? Do the things that you really have set your mind to, right? The things that you've been begging God for, or, you know, your ancestors, you've been praying, or some of you guys maybe stopped praying, I don't know. But there's something that you are way too focused on. There's something that you're working way too hard. You're not really allowing time and space for that work to actually pay off. You know, there comes a point where you need to sleep. There comes a point where you need to go on vacation, where you need to take a break. There comes a point where you've done enough work, the work that you should have done, and it could be just on day by day. If you've done the work, you know, that you've needed to do throughout the day, let it rest. You go and rest. Go enjoy yourself, right? If you've been more focused on your home and being at home and whatever the case, there's something about the home for some of you guys. You need to let it rest. Okay? Because even the human body at some point, your heart is always beating. Your lungs are always breathing, right? Your brain is always thinking. Your blood is always flowing, right? Your hair is always growing. But there comes a point where that needs to slow down, and that's when you sleep. So the more we push our bodies to stay awake, the more faster we age, the more tired we become, the more we begin to break our bodies down, the harder it is to enjoy life. Okay? But like this card says, the end of a tough cycle approaches. That's the sun. Okay? Just like that song, Here Comes the Sun. Whether you know it or not, or whether you believe it or not, Cancer, there is a positive outcome here. It is going to be better than what you anticipate. Okay? Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. So yes, walking away from something. This doesn't necessarily mean walking away from it permanently. It can. But some of you guys really need to go on a vacation. You guys really need to walk away from a relationship for a while. You guys need to go hang out with your friends, you know. And it just, again, this does not have to be a long-term thing. It can just be day by day. You go hang out with this friend, you go hang out with that friend the next day, or you take yourself out to eat, or maybe it's you and your partner going out every weekend, or, you know, a couple weekends a month, whatever. There's many different ways that you can walk away from this heavy energy here. You're not able to spread your wings. So if this is a romantic partnership that you want to keep and you want it to continue and you want it to be healthy and you want it to grow, you and your partner need to either go to therapy or, you know, you need to start doing some things that are going to bring the spark back into your relationship and not make it so heavy. Maybe somebody needs to get a better job. Somebody needs to push their supervisor or their boss to give them more hours or to promote them, whatever. It's time for improvement, no matter what your life is like, okay? Let's go ahead and clarify the 10 of Wands here, this heavy energy for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Let's see. Yep, 4 of Cups. 7 of Pentacles. 5 of Swords. Yes, you are tearing yourself down, Cancer, by the amount of work that you're doing, by focusing too much on something. I think there are others of you, you're doing way too much work for someone else and not for yourself. You're more focused on someone else and pleasing someone else than pleasing yourself. And because of all of that, you are missing out on some really great opportunities for yourself. You may have some family members who are actually telling you this, Cancer. You may have a family member or someone in your household, someone in your bloodline or someone in your household who's telling you, you need to get out. You need to go hang out with somebody. Somebody may be telling you, you need to go date somebody. You need to go get a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I don't know, right? Somebody may be telling you, you need to marry your partner, whatever. I don't know. But you guys need to let go of this heavy energy. Drop it. Just drop it. You've done enough. Because you have the Moon card at the bottom of the deck here. That's Pisces, usually in the tarot, but I see the Moon as Cancer. Because you guys are ruled by the Moon in astrology. You already know this, Cancer. When I see the Moon card, it's like you may not see things clearly, but you already know. You already know that this cycle has run its course and you're already done. You need to be done with this. You already know, okay? Let's clarify the Page of Swords. Ooh, 3. Sorry. All right, so these cards kind of wanted to fly out. It was the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Pentacles. We're going to leave that right there. Yep, you got the Tower, the Knight of Cups. It's Cancer energy. I read that as Cancer, and the 9 of Wands is Leo energy. So you guys have a lot of Leo energy. You may have a lot of Leo in your chart. Okay. With the Page of Air or the Page of Pentacle or the Page of Swords being clarified by these cards, the Knight of Cups is really that's that curiosity, your heart's desire. That's you going after it. When I see knights and pages and kings and queens, that represents you or someone else acting. Okay, so the Knight of Cups is someone who is romanticizing their life and they're acting on it. Some type of change has happened inside of you, Cancer, where you have something clicked or something snapped and you're like, I'm out of here. I'm tired of this. Something needs to change. Okay. The 9 of Wands is someone who is remembering themselves. They are remembering the fire inside of them. They're remembering the magic and the beauty that resides inside of them and around them. But there's some type of tower moment, something that's going to snap inside of you or it's going to be triggered and you're like, no, I'm done. I don't want this anymore. Others of you, this is an outward experience that may happen that's going to force you out of this because your ancestors or your deities, your guides are like, we're done seeing you waddle around in this. We're done. Okay, yeah, we have the 9 of Swords. Yeah, they're done. You have been feeling like this for way too long. Just losing sleep, having some of you guys may have some really serious mental trauma because you always are expecting things to go downhill and get worse and worse and worse. But that's because you're in an environment that has convinced you of that. You need to get out of that environment, get some fresh air and see like, oh, things are actually not so bad. right? All right, let's go ahead and last but not least, let's clarify the sun card, you guys. The sun card for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. But with the Wheel of Fortune here, it's like, you know, this has taken a lot of time. This has taken a lot of time. Let's see what the sun card's all about. The Knight of Swords, I like seeing it. Yep, that's you. That's you actually taking the knowledge that you've gained. Maybe you've seen some pictures in books or on social media. You see other people doing things, you know, and you're just like, you know what, let me get up and actually go experience this world out here. Eight of Swords, yeah. Get out of your mind. Some of you guys have been mentally stuck, and then you have the Empress, yeah. Your Venus, pay attention to your Venus here. Some of you guys, there is a mother figure of some kind. A woman. It could be a mother. It could be a grandmother. It could be your sister even. Maybe you have a sister who is a mother to you in a way, or you see them more as a mother, or they have their own kids, but maybe this is your significant other. I don't know. But there is someone here who's pregnant, or someone who has kids, or someone that you look up to. And some of you guys, there is a female, a mother figure who has passed on, who is guiding you. She sees this. She sees how stuck you are in your head, and she is trying, she may be the catalyst for you to actually move on and to get your life together. And then you have Judgment of renewal. Yeah. Somebody's going to wake you up, Cancer. And when you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Okay? So this female, or this goddess, or this ancestor, or passed on loved one, whether it's a passed on loved one or someone that's in your life now, something is going to wake you up. And I feel like if it's not a real, like a person, then it's going to be your feminine energy, or Venus. It's going to be the energy of feminine energy that's going to wake you up and help you understand that you're not taking care of yourself, and you are not living life to the fullest like you are so capable of doing. Okay? Much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, Cancer.